I'd love to see a world where men and women are equal and there's equal pay, equal rights, and that everything is equal.
The Equality Act of 2010 was enacted to codify the complicated and numerous array of acts and regulations which form the basis of anti-discrimination law in Great Britain. This was, primarily, the Equal Pay Act of 1970, the Sex Discrimination Act of 1975, the Race Relations Act of 1976, the Disability Discrimination Act of 1995, and three major statutory instruments protecting discrimination in employment on grounds of religion or belief, sexual orientation, and age. It requires equal treatment in access to employment as well as private and public services, regardless of the protected characteristics of age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage and civil partnership, race, religion or belief, sex, and sexual orientation. In the case of gender, there are special protections for pregnant women. So, everything you have asked for already exists. Either you're not paying attention in class, or an education from Leicester University isn't worth £5.
In the future, I want to see a world where gender-based inequality isn't just tackled, but eradicated.
Males cannot produce eggs. Females cannot produce sperm. Those are just the two most obvious biological inequalities between the sexes. These will never be eradicated, short of a massive evolutionary change that none of us will ever be present to witness.
I hope men and women will be treated equally, regardless of gender.
There's the law. Read it. If you know someone is breaking the law, call the authorities.
University should be a place you come to learn, have fun, make friends, and find yourself, socialise with like-minded people.
Socializing with only like-minded people might be the reason for the existence of this video, and the he-for-she quote-unquote movement in the first place. Try talking with people outside of the ideology. You might learn something.
It shouldn't be a place where you're worried about going out on a night out or...
Most crime occurs under the cover of darkness, as it has since the dawn of time. Use the buddy system.
Being treated differently because of your gender, your race, or your sexuality, everyone should be equal.
I wonder what these three would think about an integrated rugby team of men and women. Do you think these guys would behave in the same way towards a female opponent on the field versus a male opponent? Do you think female rugby players would endorse male standards of play? Or would they ask for modifications to the rules and regulations to accommodate their physiological differences to their male counterparts?
I hope that all students and all staff feel comfortable and safe in their environment.
If you mean physical comfort and safety, then I completely agree. If you mean safety and comfort away from opposing ideas or opinions, I most wholeheartedly disagree. So, have I made you uncomfortable?
I think what we should be aspiring to, although it's difficult to achieve, is a situation where all of these things are taken for granted.
You mean like enacted and enforced laws that guarantee rights that all citizens can expect to have respected? And if not, then violations will be redressed through the legal system? That kind of taking for granted?
So, we do just automatically by default treat one another for who we are.
People do not and have never operated like that. This is why we have laws, to both corral and make up for the acknowledged deficiencies of the human condition. Laws constitute our societal ideals, written down in common agreement of consequences for violation. That is as good as it's going to get.
Rather than on the basis of assumptions about our sex or any other characteristic.
There's the law. Read it. If you know someone is breaking the law, call the authorities.
In the future, I hope that universities become a place where men and women across the UK feel safe to be who they are.
I have to wonder how safe a man or a woman at your university would feel if they were to openly dismiss he for she as a sexist campaign that shames men into seeing women as incapable victims. As this video is produced by Leicester University, I can only assume this is the university's endorsed perspective on reality. So, Is there any room for debate on your campus?
My hopes for the future of gender equality is that it will actually happen in my lifetime.
Welcome to the future. Oh, well, that confirms that. You're a university with a chosen and official social ideology. Tell me, how is this fundamentally any different than advertising that you are a Catholic university?
I am a he for she.
Dude, you make it sound like you're a member of a separate species.
I am a he for she.
And you make it sound even creepier. Maybe it's the accent.
We are he for she.
If by we you mean the university as an institution, well, that's been confirmed. If you're speaking for anyone else, I wonder who elected you to that post. Or does your gender give you some kind of special considerations? I mean, we wouldn't want that at all. We want gender equality. Leicester University is an officially feminist university. The students and staff featured in this video are either completely ignorant of or are actively dismissing laws that have been variously on the books since the 1970s. By doing so, they are promoting notions of oppression, not combating them. By this declaration of ideology, without consideration for established law, Leicester University would seem to be marketing themselves to a demographic of students who desire a safe and unchallenged echo chamber. And in this, I am certain that, for a time, they may very well be successful. And their success in shaping and galvanizing young minds will be to our collective detriment. As always, thank you for watching.